keep believing in the Houston Texans, just like you should believe in radio, because the Houston Texans, they might be entering something that, I got to say, we've never seen before. J.J. Watt was on the Pat McAfee show and had this to say about the future of a C.J. Stroud, DeMeco Ryans Texans team.
Yeah, go ahead.
This clip is one of my favorite clips because he throws this game-winning touchdown with no time left, like drove the team down the field. And then immediately after he throws that touchdown, some teams are going to go down, dogpile their guy, get so excited. He's cool. He's calm. He's collected. He's like, yeah, this is what we do. This is what we do. And then you look at DeMeco on the sideline, and DeMeco's like, yeah, this is what we do. Like, it's not crazy. It's not going nuts. It's like, yeah, we expect to win these games. And I think between those two guys and the rest of the roster they're building in the next 2 or 3 years, if they do these off seasons right, a lot of free agents are going to want to come to Houston because of what they're building. They truly are about to open up a Super Bowl window here, and it's an exciting time.
Oh, JJ, that window is already open, buddy boy. And you might have seen Jer Bear Branham and the Killer Bees talking about it on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5 just a couple of days ago. But the window is open. It's always funny to see the idea of a Super Bowl window. The window stays open. Wait, why is it open? Why did someone leave it open? Your energy bill is going to go up like crazy. Why didn't somebody just close it at some point? Whatever. Forget about the actual saying itself, Paul, and talk about the Texans Super Bowl window. When you have a quarterback like this, you see, obviously, how quickly things can change. Look at the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals were the biggest joke in the NFL for much of their existence. The most relevant thing about the Cincinnati Bengals was that their owner often would make players pay for things as simple as the Gatorade that they drank during the games. Ask Jonathan Joseph, former Texan, who came from the Bengals to the Texans, about what a penny-pinching organization they are. All of a sudden, they get Joe Burrow, who the Texans are going to play on Sunday, and next thing you know, they're relevant. And it is crazy how quickly it happens. And I think we all have to admit, even the people that are perhaps skeptical, cynical by nature, like myself, Stroud is very good. Stroud being very good has opened up some possibilities. Stroud winning a game that looked like it was completely in doubt, something that Deshaun Watson honestly did not do a whole lot of, the last quarterback for the Texans, the last quarterback that made us feel like this, as quickly as he's done, Stroud, which obviously was affected because Watson got hurt in his rookie season. Stroud doing this so quickly does change things. And I do subscribe to the idea that J.J. Watt is saying that people will want to come here. It's not just that you have a quarterback. It's also a place where the taxes are not ridiculous. Did you see that one player who was that guy that put his contract online? I think it was a pass rusher. He plays in California somewhere, and $40,000 were going to local and state income tax per paycheck. Not just like for his entire contract. No, it was like per paycheck. He was only clearing half of it. And it's different here in Houston. I know we talk about like, oh, Texas doesn't have a state income tax. It is a factor. You cannot deny it. It's the Paul Gallant Show, ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Some comments here. 713-780-3776. Virginia Budweed comments on the twitch.tv/ESPN 97.5. This city is so desperate for good football. Yeah, obviously. And we are overreacting a bit to what we are seeing. But J.J. Watt on the Pat McAfee show yesterday got me excited. I am buying into the Battle Red Kool-Aid. JJ was asked if he was pissed that he did not have CJ Stroud as his quarterback when he was playing in the NFL. Here's what JJ had to say.
No disrespect to any of the guys that you played with, but how pissed are you that this guy wasn't your quarterback while you were in Houston?
Oh man, it is so much fun to watch, and the most exciting thing for me is to watch how he's got this city rallying again, how he's got this fan base excited and invigorated, because it is a great fan base, and I love to see that they have something to cheer for and something to be excited about. And like I've said every time I come on here, not only is it the way he's playing, not only is it the way he's spreading the ball around, I mean, putting up unbelievable stats, doing it all as a rookie, but he's also leading the right way. He's saying the right things. He's doing the right things. He FaceTimed me from the Children's Hospital last week because there was a kid there that was a fan and wanted to say hi. Like,
That's
the
dope.
guy is doing it the right way. Yeah, he is doing it the right way, and it's really cool to see. And it's a guy you can be proud of. It's a guy you want to root for. So we're very excited to have him, and we're very lucky to have him.
Thus far, everything with Stroud has been that. And I legitimately enjoy hearing him speak. I feel bad that there were so many people that were criticizing his intelligence because of S2 test scores coming into the NFL. I've really enjoyed everything about him thus far. There is a part of me that's a little bit guarded because we did say a lot of the same things about Deshaun Watson off the field. Remember during Hurricane Harvey when he was donating his entire paychecks to Texans cafeteria workers and stuff? And it does seem like Watson has been changed by his time in the NFL, obviously, with what we saw over the years here in Houston when he was here. Fame can go to some people's heads. I'm not saying that's the reason that he did all those things off the field. Oof. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we were also very enamored with Deshaun Watson, the human being, when he first joined this team. So I'm hoping, obviously, that nothing goes the wrong way with Stroud, but it's pretty cool to be a Texans fan right now. I said it earlier in the week. Like, I don't feel ashamed of wearing my Texans jacket, that satin starter jacket from Homage. Hell yeah, guys. Come on. Don't you want to wear your Texans gear out in public? Another text. This is in response to what we heard from J.J. Watt in the last segment talking about the Houston Texans. J.J. needs to stop with this we BS. He left the H. Stroud belongs to us. Biatch. Relax, number one. Don't you want J.J. Watt to say we when it comes to the Texans, as opposed to saying we when it comes to the Cardinals? Come on. And we saw him yesterday on the Pat McAfee show. He wasn't wearing a Texans jersey. He was wearing a weird long-sleeve Pat Tillman Cardinals jersey. And I get it. It's Veterans Day tomorrow, so I understand why. Still, hey, you guys, we want J.J. Watt to think fondly on his time here and to, yes, still refer to the Texans as we.
No.
What are you talking about?
He left. Andre Johnson left. Matt Schaub left. Aaron Foster left.
Johnson and Foster did not.
DeAndre
leave
Hopkins left.
on their own accord.
Watson left.
J.J. Watt did.
None of these guys. Kaimi Fairbairn is the only true Texan.
No, John Weeks.
He hasn't left.
John Weeks, the longest tenured Texan in Texans history.
Yeah, until he's long snapping for the Cardinals
he would
next
never.
year.
How dare you put that on John Weeks? John is a good man. How dare you? He's loyal.
No, it is funny. Just like in the NFL, like, yeah, none of these guys, they all play for one more team. None of them retire as like, no, there's so few one team guys in the NFL.
Yeah. And J.J. Watt.
Like Eli Manning's the only one.
J.J. Watt, though, is someone that we would like to say we when talking about this team. Okay? Yeah, he asked out of town. Who wouldn't have in that situation?
No, you got to stick it through.
Oh, come on, dude. With Bill O'Brien at that point, who had completely lost control of the organization.
It was Romeo Crennel.
Well, the rest of the season was Romeo Crennel. But
they wasted one of Deshaun Watson's years.
Watt told Watson that. Yeah, I remember that too. No,
I'm joking. Obviously, to have J.J. Watt, one of the biggest stars of the last 10 years in the NFL, be on CBS pregame shows whenever he's on, being on Pat McAfee's show and spewing Texans propaganda.
I want that propaganda.
Yes.
Who's doing it?
The Cowboys have every single big time broadcaster is the Cowboys, ex-Cowboy. You have ex-Patriots all over the place. You have all these teams all over the place that are ex-Steelers getting to spew their propaganda. Just give us one guy that can spew some Texas propaganda on these platforms.
You ain't kidding. It really is a lot of players from those teams who talk.
In New York, Jets and Giants.
Yeah, the New York ones. I think everyone takes those with a grain of salt, though.
Yeah, the Damian Woodies and
Antonio Pierce.
Well, Antonio
Barber.
Antonio Pierce flexed that into a head coaching job. I don't know if you heard. 1-0 all time.
I did hear about that. 1-0 all time now with the Las Vegas Raiders. So as far as the Houston Texans are concerned, we'll get back to them in just a moment. I do want to tell you about some free stuff. Saturday, homecoming for your Houston Cougars. They beat Baylor last week. It was electric. It's time to bring that energy back to TD Stadium for one last ride against Cincinnati. Ticket special for the game, $15 tickets. Grab your family and friends. Get your tickets today. uhcougars.com/tickets or call 713-GO-COUGS to get your tickets today. Come early and enjoy all the new activities in Cougar Alley in front of TD Stadium, including the huge LED TV screen and the Bud Light backyard, plus more. Coug Blaze just asked me if I would be his homecoming date. Well, maybe if you're caller number 3 to 713-780-3776, I will be your homecoming date. Note, I will not. But hey, if you want to go to the game, caller number 3 to 713-780-3776.
Cougs 2-point favorites.
About damn time that they get a little respect. Is Dana Holgorsen going to save the season? I don't know. You'll have to go to the game and find out. I mentioned before going to our last commercial break that there are 23 things I am concerned about with the Houston Texans. I don't know how many people saw their injury report yesterday, but they listed 23 of their 53 players on said injury report. Let's just read the whole damn thing, and I got to move it close because the graphic is so damn small. Will Anderson, knee. Andrew Beck, ankle, elbow, shoulder. Blake Cashman, knee. Kaimi Fairbairn, quad. Jake Hansen, who is a linebacker that I've never heard of, hamstring, hand. Brevin Jordan, tight end, foot. Steven Nelson, back, neck. Nelson's hurt? Good God. Running back Damian Pierce, ankle. Tackle Laramie Tunsil, knee. Safety Jimmy Ward, hamstring. Wide receiver Robert Woods, foot. All of those guys did not practice. So those are the guys not practicing. Here are the other players. Nico Collins, limited. Jonathan Grenard, limited. Henry To'oto'o, limited. George Fant, limited. Titus Howard, limited. Mijay Sanders, I don't know who that is, but he's limited. Derek Stingley Jr., activated, so that's nice, but also limited. Uh-oh. But hey, at least we got Charlie Heck back on the offensive line, who I didn't know who that was. I didn't even know he was on injured reserve, but hey, he's back. Also, Josh Jones, back, but he's injured. Christian Harris, hand injury. John Mechie III, ribs injury. Sheldon Rankins, knee injury. 23 players on the injury report. And what does help that the Cincinnati Bengals could theoretically be without Jamar Chase, who did not practice. He's been dealing with a back injury, and T. Higgins is dealing with a hamstring injury. He was limited in practice. It does help that those guys are banged up. But, oh boy, that is, I think, very unfortunate for the Houston Texans, who are riding a vibe that we have not felt in this city when it comes to football in quite some time after that last second win over the Bucs. And after Stroud's performance, that is a lot of injured players. If they win on Sunday, I mean, if you're not in, I don't know what to tell you, but it's very, very difficult to overcome that many injuries. If everyone's banged up a little bit, and I mean, you've seen how difficult it's been this year just on the offensive line. It's hard to continue to plug all the cracks.
Yeah, and a team that is more talented than they have been in years past, but still pretty thin.
Very thin.
You gotta imagine that it's gonna be tough. And hopefully some of these are just days off. some vet days in there, but yeah, not good that half your team's on the injured list.